There's a hotel in the Rocky Mountains that looks like a castle. Beautiful, historic, peaceful. But inside, people have heard things that don't belong to the living. Doors closing, with no one there. Footsteps that don't match your own. And voices that don't stop when you leave the room. Because some say the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel was never just a place people came to stay. It's a place where some never left.
I'm Asha, and yes, she's got spirits. And if you're here, chances are you've got spirits too. Each week we dive into true hauntings, real Canadian history, and the stories that refuse to stay buried. So dim the lights and let's get into it.
Welcome back to She's Got Spirits. Tonight, we're not just talking about a haunted hotel. We're diving into one of the darkest, most unsettling locations in Canada. Not the stories that they advertise, not the friendly ghosts, but the ones people don't like to say out loud. The hotel sits deep in the Rockies, surrounded by forest, mountains, and silence. It opened in 1888, built as a luxury escape in the wilderness. But that isolation, that's what makes it dangerous. Because when something happens here, there's nowhere to go. Guests describe a strange feeling, like the hotel is too big, too quiet, like you're being watched, even when you're completely alone. There's a hallway inside the Banff Springs Hotel where something doesn't make sense. The numbers skip. The walls feel wrong. And if you stand there long enough, you might feel it too. Like something happened there that was never meant to be remembered. Because in this hotel, there once was a room 873. And what happened inside it was so violent. Some say the hotel tried to erase it completely. Most guests will never notice it. But if you walk the right hallway, you'll see it. The numbers go in order. 871, 872, and then nothing. No 873. Just a wall. Smooth, plain, like it was always meant to be there. But it wasn't. Because years ago, there was a door there. And behind that door, something happened that changed everything. The story begins with a family, a mother, a father, and their young daughter. They checked into room 873 like any other guest. Nothing unusual, no warning, no reason to suspect anything was wrong. But sometime during the night, everything changed. No one knows exactly what happened at first. Some say it started with an argument. Others say something darker, something psychological. But what's consistent in every version is how it ended. The father snapped violently, brutally. He turned on his own family inside that room. The mother, the daughter, no one survived. And by the time anyone discovered what had happened, it was already too late. When staff entered the room, it wasn't just a crime scene. It was disturbing. The walls, the floor, the bed, everything showed signs of a violent struggle. What unsettled people most was the silence. No one heard anything. No screams, no calls for help. Nothing. As if whatever happened in that room was contained. The room was cleaned, restored, put back into use. At least, at first. But almost immediately, guests started reporting things, waking up in the middle of the night, feeling like someone was in the room, hearing movement, breathing. Sometimes, what sounded like a child crying. Others said they saw shadows, not passing by, but standing still, watching. Guests complained about being touched while they slept, feeling something sit on the edge of the bed, or worse, feeling like someone was standing right beside them, just out of sight. Staff experienced it too. Housekeeping reported entering the room and feeling immediate dread, like they shouldn't be there, like something didn't want them there. Eventually, the hotel made a decision. They didn't close the room. They removed it. The door was taken out, the number erased, the space behind it sealed off, and the hallway renumbered, like room 873 had never existed. Because even after that, people still reported things, standing near where the room used to be. Guests described sudden cold, pressure, that same feeling like someone is right behind you, watching, waiting. Some say if you press your ear to the wall, you can still hear something inside. Not clearly, but enough to know it isn't empty. Some believe it's not just a haunting. They believe whatever happened in that room didn't just leave behind spirits. It left something else. Something violent. Something aware. Because the experiences don't feel random. They feel targeted. Like whatever's there knows when someone is nearby. So what really happened in room 873? Was it just a tragedy? A moment of violence frozen in time? Or did something in that room break through? Because when a place is sealed off like that, when it's erased, it makes you wonder, what exactly are they trying to keep in? And maybe that's the most unsettling part, not that the room is gone, but that whatever was inside it might not be. Before the hauntings, before the stories, before people ever whispered about something being wrong inside the hotel, there was a fire, a massive one. The original Banff Springs Hotel wasn't always the castle people recognize today. The first version opened in 1888, built out of wood, isolated deep in the mountains, and for years, it stood quietly until 1926. That's when everything changed. The fire didn't creep in slowly. It spread fast, violently, through dry wood, narrow hallways, and a structure that wasn't built to contain something like that. Before the hauntings, before the stories, before people ever whispered about something being wrong inside the hotel, flames tore through the building. Walls lit up. Smoke filled every room. Guests and staff were forced to escape into the cold mountain night. Some barely made it out. Others had no clear way out at all. Imagine being inside that hotel. Dark hallways, fire moving faster than you can think. Heat pressing in from every direction. No clear exits. No time to gather anything. Just confusion, panic, and the overwhelming feeling that you might not make it. People ran. Some got separated. Some didn't know where to go. And in a place that isolated, help wasn't immediate. By the time the fire was over, the original hotel was gone, completely destroyed, reduced to charred remains. And even though most people escaped, not everything left with them, because tragedies like that don't just disappear. They leave something behind. The hotel was rebuilt, stronger, larger, more grand than before. The stone structure that stands today replaced what was lost. But here's the unsettling part. Rebuilding a place doesn't erase what happened there. It just builds over it, layer by layer. Some believe the fire is where everything started, not the bride, not room 873, the fire. Because events like that create intense energy, fear, panic, desperation, all happening at once. And in a place as isolated as this, with nowhere for that energy to go, some believe it stayed, embedded into the structure, into the land, into the walls. And here's where it gets darker. What if the hotel was never clean after the fire? What if something lingered long before room 873 ever existed? Because if the building was rebuilt on top of trauma, then every room, every hallway, every floor was built over something unfinished, something that never fully left. So when people talk about hauntings at the Banff Springs Hotel, they often focus on specific rooms, specific ghosts. But maybe they're missing something bigger. Because what if it's not just one room that's haunted? What if the entire hotel has been carrying something since the night it burned? One guest described walking down a hallway late at night, no one else around, when suddenly the double doors in front of them slowly closed. Not slammed, not pushed, just closed. Like something invisible was standing there. This exact kind of experience has been reported, doors moving without any visible cause. And what makes it worse? It doesn't feel random. It feels intentional. Everyone talks about the ghost bride, but they tell it like a love story. It's not. The truth is darker. A young woman in the 1920s, walking down the staircase in her wedding dress, something happens. She falls and dies. That part is known. But what people don't talk about is what happens after. Guests have reported seeing her, not just walking, but staring, standing still on the stairs, watching people below, or appearing in the ballroom, not dancing, just present. Some say her story was never even confirmed in records, which raises a question. If no one officially died there, then what are people seeing? This is where it stops feeling like ghost stories and starts feeling like something else. Guests and staff have reported a presence that doesn't act like a person. It doesn't walk. It doesn't speak clearly. It just watches from corners, from dark parts of the room, from behind you. One person described waking up in the middle of the night, unable to move, with the feeling that something was standing at the foot of the bed, not touching them, not speaking, just there. And then it moved. There's a story about a bellman named Sam. People say he helps guests unlock doors, give directions. Even after his death, sightings continued. But here's what's unsettling. Some guests reported being helped by someone who disappears. Others say they never asked for help, and the figure still approached them. One story describes a man helping them into their room, only for staff to later say no one matching that description was working that night. Individually, these stories sound like typical hauntings, but together, there's a pattern. People being watched, doors moving intentionally, voices or presence that respond, spaces that feel wrong. It doesn't feel like separate ghosts. It feels like something connected, something that uses the space, something that knows you're there. Most haunted places feel abandoned. This one doesn't. It's active, full of people, luxury, noise, life. And yet, people still experience things, which makes it worse. Because whatever's there doesn't need silence, it doesn't need darkness. It happens anyway. Some believe the hotel isn't just haunted. They believe it's a place where energy builds over time. From everyone who stayed there, every death, every emotion, every moment, layered on top of each other, until something forms, not a person, not a ghost, but something aware. So if you ever stay at the Banff Springs Hotel and you hear something in your room, don't assume it's nothing. Don't assume it's just the building. Because in a place like this, you're never really alone. If you want more dark Canadian hauntings like this, subscribe to She's Got Spirits. And tell me in the comments, would you stay here overnight, knowing what's been reported? Or would you leave before something notices you? Until next time, cheers.